Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms. As always, if you're finding me for the very first time, please be sure to click that like and subscribe button. So I kind of want to talk about this upcoming trend, this trend that's been going on social media, Twitter, like everything, and that is this idea that we are trying to change history by canceling stuff. Earlier today, I did a video on how Disney went ahead and changed Boba Fett's ship from Slave One to just generic Boba Fett starship, and how this sort of thing is where we are, everything that we do today is offensive to somebody. And I think we kind of got to a point, at least for me personally, I got to a point where I just don't give a shit anymore. Me personally, when I started this channel, to make jokes, have comedy, like Aquaman, really, like all that type of stuff, and like Twinkle Toe Cocksucker, all that stuff. Like a lot of that is offensive to some people, but I do it as for comedy purposes. And the fact that I feel like these companies, corporations are trying to do damage control when there is no damage, is problematic. It really is. You look at something like Slave One. First of all, not a whole lot of people even know what Boba Fett's ship's name is. It wasn't until the toy came out, and then we got more expanded material and stuff like that, and then we Slave One. The average schmo, like if I go on the street and I grab 10 people and I'm like, hey, what's the name of Boba Fett's ship? Maybe one person out of the 10 people would know what the name of Boba Fett's ship is. And that is a big maybe, because that's something that a lot of people don't really know. And sure, I guess if you want to play devil's advocate, if you're walking in a toy store and you see a Lego Boba Fett ship and it says Slave One on there, but see, I don't find that offensive. I mean, we're in a culture now where Pepe Le Pew, guys, Pepe Le fucking Pew has been censored, right? This whole Me Too cancel culture society that we live in, we are so close to the plot of Demolition Man where you can't even say the word fuck without getting a ticket. Like, oh my god, you sinned, you cussed, like, it is so problematic nowadays that everything is being taken down. And the thing is, it is our history. It happened, okay? It is. We need to own it. We need to teach our kids that, hey, yes, we did this. It's not the best, but you also got to understand, like, Pepe Le Pew, he's just a character, it's whole, like, it's really, really problematic. It really, really is. When we get to the part where we start censoring cartoons and start canceling cartoons because they represent a certain race, or Pepe Le Pew, he's sexual harassment the cat and all that stuff. It's like, oh, he's sexual because he's trying to bone the cat. Take Elmer Fudd's like Gun Out, or Speedy Gonzales because it's a racist character of a Mexican like, at what point do we say enough is enough? Disney was very, very racist back in the day, and now they're trying to erase it like it didn't happen. No, it happened. You need to own that. Be like, yes, it was a different time period, but look how we evolved, But if you start to erase that, you start erasing our past, then how can you sit there and be like, look, we didn't learn anything, right? We were always squeaky clean, right? No, it wasn't true. Disney was just as racist as a lot of other studios. They weren't hiring black actors. Black people were portrayed horribly in those old cartoons. It happened. Look at Dumbo. Look at, the Song of the South and all that stuff. And they're renaming Splash Mountain, and they're making it from the Princess and the Frog stuff. And that stuff is all great, right? Like, I like the idea of the Princess and the Frog, right? Disney always updates their rides, so it's fine. They want to get rid of the Song of the South or whatever and then make it the Princess. That's fine. But there comes a time where you got to realize that little things like renaming Boba Fett's ship Slave One, that was part of our culture, man. That was part of what we grew up. There's nothing wrong with Slave One. That's to say, like, slavery doesn't exist in the Star Wars universe. Fuck, the Death Star was created by slaves, by the Wookiees. The Geonosians and the Wookiees built the Death Star. Slaves exist in that universe. You can't say that. Just because you're slaves doesn't mean they have to be black slaves. Look at the Egyptian times. We have slaves over there that built the pyramids for the pharaohs and stuff. And then America was built on slavery. To sit there and say that the United States of America was not built on the back of black slaves, then that's just sitting there and saying you're erasing history at that point. It happened. Our country was built by black people, you know? And that's something that we should celebrate as people, not sit there and try to hide it. We need to learn from the mistakes so we know that slavery is bad and we teach that to the next generation, right? When something like George Floyd thing or Breonna Taylor and all that stuff, when that stuff happened, we need to learn from that and grow as society. Renaming a ship, and canceling cartoons and Pepe Le Pew and all this stuff. You can't do anything without pissing somebody off these days. And I'm personally tired of censoring myself, right? For the past year, I've been censoring a lot of stuff that I said. I don't go ham like I used to. I used to do like the shock TV sort of thing, right? I used to get on here, speak my mind. Every once in a while, I'll do some stupid shit, and the Parasite video would come out because I'm drinking a little too much and whatnot, and I didn't choose my right word. And since then, I tried to be smarter on how I say things. But to sit there and pretend like this stuff didn't happen is just ridiculous in itself, because it happened, you know? And we shouldn't be censoring cartoons and trying to erase the past. You know, Scarlett Johansson about a year and a half ago got a lot of heat because she was going to produce this movie called Rub and Tug, which was about I believe it was transgender police officer, detective or something, and she was going to play the main character. She was producing this film. Right? This movie was going to get off and bring awareness to transgenders and all this. And the transgender community just went after her. Oh, she can't play this character. She's not transgender. Eddie Redmayne wasn't really handicapped when he played Stephen Hawkins in The Theory of Everything. You know, Forrest Gump wasn't really retarded when he played, or Tom Hanks wasn't really retarded when he played Forrest Gump. You know, this type of stuff is insane. Insane how people keep constantly just nitpicking and stuff. So you can't. Mark Hamill's not really a Jedi, people. You can play a different character, right? There's a difference between playing a transgender character and playing a blackface character. And people attacking Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder when he was trying. The whole point of that movie was him making fun of the actors who do that. So, I think we live in a society now where we are way too sensitive as a group, and you can't even joke about things, right? The thing is, a joke is a joke. I love joking about comedy. You know, I was messing with my boy Anzo last night about watermelon because he doesn't like watermelon. I'm like, but you're black, right? And so, is that racist? Absolutely 100% it's racist to ask a black man why he doesn't like watermelon, because that's a common misconception that all black people like watermelon. Was it racist? Yes. Was it a racist joke? Absolutely. At the end of the day, I can pick up my phone, call Anzo. He's my boy. He knew I was joking around. When he makes jokes about me and Sailor Moon and all this stuff, we know we're joking around. We don't take it seriously, okay? It's one thing to joke around. It's another thing to actually be blatantly racist and blatantly hating certain people for their sexuality, their race, all that sort of thing. We are in a society now where we are getting way too sensitive, and I don't like how this is going about. So I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms. That's my opinion. Later, guys.